Andy, what's wrong?
Because Donald Trump a real person.
Yes, Donald Trump is a real person.
Ah, yes. You know what they say? Kids scream the darndest things. And right now, that kid speaks on behalf of many Americans who can't believe that Trump is real or that what he's doing to us all could possibly be real. It often defies logic, which incorrectly implies that our wannabe dictator uses any logic. But this week has been a real head scratcher as Trump is simultaneously telling us that it's okay to murder people if we suspect them of being drug dealers. And it's also totally cool to pardon a convicted drug dealer and set him free into America. I seem to recall Grandpa Donnie saying that someone else did shit like that and he was going to put a stop to it.
We're not going to let this happen. Biden let people come in from prisons, mental institutions, drug dealers, murderers.
Oh, that's right. He always said that Biden was the one releasing drug dealers into America. I wouldn't blame you for being confused by all of this, like a bunch of adults are right now. And I've also got video of a mom trying to explain all of this to her kids, and their confusion is both genuine and enlightening, and you're not going to want to miss it. So hit subscribe to Really American Media right here on YouTube, and go find our Substack page as well. All right, let's start off with a quick recap of what Trump did this week with his corrupt pardon powers.
Tuesday morning, a man named Juan Orlando Hernandez was freed from United States Penitentiary Hazleton in West Virginia. Now, you may have heard of him. He's the former president of Honduras, and he had been sentenced in a U.S. criminal court to 45 years in prison for, according to prosecutors, quote, helping to facilitate the importation of an almost unfathomable 400 tons of cocaine to this country and billions of individual doses sent to the U.S. with the protection and support of the former president of Honduras. This act of clemency, this pardoning, this freeing of a man who received millions of dollars in bribes to help 400 tons of cocaine come to the United States comes at the same time that President Trump and the Pentagon are waging this war against narco traffickers allegedly coming from Venezuela.
It's just absolutely nuts to see that guy walk out and then think about all the stuff that's happening in Venezuela. And my head hurts, dude. I'm being gaslit. None of this fucking makes sense.
No, Nick, it doesn't fucking make sense. And watch your language. We've got some kids coming on next, and none of this makes fucking sense to them either. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I mean, it doesn't make fudging sense to them either.
President Trump says it was carrying drugs from Venezuela.
We have a lot of drugs pouring into our country, coming in for a long time. And we just, these came out of Venezuela. We took it out.
What do you get out of those videos?
I see that Trump is trying to destroy any people who might be trying to smuggle drugs into America.
That message in and of itself is good. We want to try to stop the flow of drugs into our country. Agree?
Yeah, agree.
Now the second clip is also something that happened this week.
This just in, Donald Trump has announced that he'll be pardoning one of the world's most notorious drug traffickers. In a new post, Trump said that he will issue a full and complete pardon to former Honduran President Juan Orlando Hernandez, who was convicted of drug trafficking last year in the U.S. and sentenced to 45 years in prison.
Do you know what a pardon is?
Like somebody saying you're pardoned from the dinner table, you're excused.
So a president can pardon someone that's in jail and say, okay, you don't have to be in jail anymore. You can walk free. All the charges against you are clear. He's letting the ex-president of Honduras, who is convicted of trafficking drugs, supposed to be in prison for 45 years, and Trump let him out.
Why?
Yeah, why indeed? Now, Trump is claiming it's because Biden was mean to this corrupt president and framed him. And after Hernandez allegedly wrote a flattering letter to Dozy Don, he now agrees. But really, Trump just wants to pardon any corrupt politicians who claim that they were framed because Trump thinks it makes it seem more plausible that he got framed by Biden, which of course he wasn't. But again, there's no logic being applied here. So let's see how these kids do with trying to fit a round peg into a square hole.
What is the real message that we're supposed to believe?
So if I'm trafficking drugs in the United States and I go to jail and I'm supposed to be in there for 45 years and then Trump explodes drug boats, but then I get released, that doesn't make any sense.
No, kiddo, it doesn't make sense, but it probably makes dollars and cents, as in somebody is paying him off. Trump is killing some alleged drug dealers who never got their day in court, never had any due process, while also letting out an actual drug kingpin that was found guilty in a court of law here in America. Sort of seems like something corrupt is going on here. I mean, I'm not saying that, but, a lot of people are saying it.
If my best friend, even if it was my best friend, was trafficking drugs illegally and doing all that stuff, and he went to prison, I would probably not let him out just because it's,
Yeah.
Yeah, do you hear that, Trump? Even a little kid knows it's wrong to pardon your buddies. Although I'm sure Junior there was never given millions of dollars by his schoolyard chums. But never forget, the only reason that Trump is famous in the first place is because he constantly sells himself. Why would that stop at 1600 Pennsylvania Ave?
My point with you guys watching this is to identify when you're seeing mixed messages and to question it. What questions would you want to look up? What research would you want to do to try to figure out what's going on?
First, look up what kind of boat that is, because that does not look like a drug boat.
I would try to look up how people could identify if other people have drugs in a boat from far away,
Right.
Like maybe
what's the
radar.
intelligence? If you're going to bomb something, you better know darn good and well who's in that boat and what they have.
Yeah, it's a good point, Mom. We should know darn good and well who is in the boat. And I can't help but notice that the Trump regime has never shared any of their intel with any of us. And these are the people that tweet everything. So if they had any ironclad proof, they'd be tweeting it. Fuck, they'd be selling it on a t-shirt that says, I went to Venezuela and all I got was blown up.
Why Trump pardoned the former president?
Do they have a relationship?
Well, if he ever goes back, he's still got 44 more years, Trump.
Yeah, it's honestly sad to watch these kids try and figure out what our president is up to. I'm a dad, and it is legitimately depressing to have these conversations with my kids. So I applaud this mom for doing it, and so do a whole bunch of people online with great comments like, you are such a great mom, raising your kids to be empathetic and kind and smart. Way to go, Mom. Or, your kids are going to become such smart and empathetic adults. Or this one, in all caps, even the children get it. Yeah, I mean, kinda. They get that none of this makes any sense, and the adults aren't doing much better with it either. It's kind of been fun to watch the Republicans try to chicken shit their way out of explaining the logic behind all of this.
And I think that these strikes are slowing down the import of those deadly drugs. Emphasize, this is poisoning, not just overdoses. These are poisonings.
So, Senator, on that, a follow-up, it is fentanyl does not necessarily come from Venezuela. I know President Trump has really said that's the scourge he's worried about. That's not from Venezuela. But more so, you just, rightly outlined the dangers posed by drugs. So what explanation do you have for President Trump offering a pardon to the former president of Honduras, who prosecutors said ran a massive drug cartel, including sending tons and tons of it to the United States?
Yeah, I don't know the details of that particular pardon. Happy to look into it, but I just can't really speak to it.
All right, Republican.
Okay. All right. So, no thought on the fact that he was pardoned?
Well, again, I think it's unfair to, without me researching the details of that pardon, to give you any type of an answer. I'm a doctor. If you ask me a question, I don't have a good answer or a factual answer, I'm going to say I don't know. I'm happy to go research it. I'm really locked in on healthcare right now, trying to bring down the cost of healthcare for Americans and make our lives more affordable.
Republican Senator Roger Marshall of Kansas. Thank you very much, Doctor.
Yeah, the doctor is not in. He's out of his fucking mind. What does this guy need explained to him? What research is he going to do? The guy that you voted for, the guy you support committing murder to kill drug dealers, just let a notorious drug dealer out of prison, and I fucking hope he moves to Kansas. Have fun with your new neighbor. All right, but now it's your turn, please. Can you explain this any better than those kids? If not, and I assume not, feel free to just sound off on our king. So please like this video, comment below, and get vocal. From the Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve podcast, I'm Steve Harness for Really American Media.